Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Christine Lee, procrastination coach and clinical psychologist. Thank you for being with me for this Facebook Live. And if you're watching this from my newsletter, thanks for being part of my community. Let's see. Today I came up with this idea because these thoughts are present for me. The topic is how to get greater clarity on the goals that you have for yourself. And the reason why I thought this was a necessary or important topic is because we're so busy and we can be so distracted, and there's so many things we want to do. And sometimes that experiential clutter, that busyness can make our goals seem a little far off or a little bit unclear. And sometimes it's good to just take a minute or two, evaluate what's going on, and get clear with what we want to have happen. What are our real goals? So I came up with three ideas somewhat creatively and on the spot, but I think they're good ones to help you to get greater clarity on your goals. The first idea that I have is that you want to check out your fears. You want to examine what are the kinds of fears that I'm going through right now, because chances are the fears are very specifically there to counteract the reality that you could be attaining your goals and having a completely different experience in life. Once you get your goal, you're going to be a different person. Life is going to feel differently. And your fears are kind of that prep phase for that period. So examine your goals and see what are they trying to tell you about what you're trying to get. And the idea that I came up with to give you an example of what this could look like is the example of battling with a pile of clutter and the issue of clutter. And oftentimes, our fears about facing our clutter involve just the dirtiness of it or the inconvenience of it or the frustration or the time consumption that is involved in clearing our clutter. But if you really take a look at the fear, oh, I'm afraid of getting dirty, I'm afraid of complication, I'm afraid of having my time taken away, that really all applies to having a clutter free space. When we live clutter free, we all of a sudden don't have to deal with dirt. We don't have to deal with frustration, and we get so much more of our time back. So it's the fear holding us up from getting this reality that we could have of a clutter free space. So, again, just to summarize, that first tip is if you're trying to figure out what your specific goal is, take a look at what you're afraid of about that goal. And that's generally going to tell you what you're wanting from achieving that new milestone. The second tip that I have for you is to set yourself at what I'm going to call ground zero, which means instead of thinking about what complications are going to come in if you start to go for your goal, and stop instead of thinking about what your own expectations are, instead of thinking about how perfectly you need to get this to happen, instead of thinking about your experience with trying to do this in the past, you're going to drop all of that and bring yourself back to a state of neutrality or a state of zero where it just exists as a fact that you want to attain the goal, that it's your choice of all the millions of choices you can have in the world. Your choice is to start from zero and to get to one. And again, you're going to take away all the stories, all the drama, all the history, all the forecasting, all the pessimism, all the weird thoughts, all the delusional thoughts that you might be having about how difficult it's going to be. And you're just going to start from zero and say, today is day zero of maybe 100 days that I need to follow through with consistent action to get to my goal. But today's day zero. I'm going to start fresh. I'm going to stay really clear on my goal and I'm going to go forward. Don't let the past or your self esteem issues or your ego issues interfere with you having that clarity that just comes with saying, I want that. That's all you need to do. I want that. I desire that. Have that be your guide instead of the past and all the mishigash that might be in your head. Okay. The third tip that I have is imagine yourself in the future. What do you want to do, be, think, and feel like in a month? Do you want to have the same pile of clutter? Do you want to have the same level of finances in your bank account? Do you want to be at the same job? Do you want to be in the same health status? I don't know. It's up for you to decide, but use that future forecasting to give yourself greater clarity about what you need to pay attention to today. Today, you're not late. Today, you're right on time. Give yourself that feeling that you're doing good for yourself. That may be the best tip of all. You're the person who's directing this whole system. So direct yourself with clarity, with freedom, with the sense that you're at zero today, and that's a good thing, with the sense that you do not have to be perfect. You don't have to be chasing 1,000 goals. All you have to do is chase one or glide towards one, maybe take the chase out of the whole experience and use these tips for fun. Have fun today and open yourself up for greater success. All right. Make time for success. While I'm at that, listen to my podcast for some more tips and tricks and inspiration and more of my voice. Make time for success podcast. There are tons of episodes, great guests, great solo episodes, and it's free. I also have an upcoming challenge for you to join, and it is about the issue of clutter in particular. All you need to do to read up about the challenge, get yourself registered, and get yourself going in the beginning of June on your clutter issue so that you can reach your goals more quickly. Go to procrastinationcoach.com/clarity. Again, it's procrastinationcoach.com/clarity because the challenge is called Clarity Over Clutter. I will see you soon. Thanks so much for listening and have a great day. Bye.